fans. Yes, sir. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Sports Spotlight right here on Radio Azad. I'm your host, Rizwan. And let's get to it because in T minus 9 minutes, Shep's going to be joining us, and we're going to have to swivel the spotlight away from the cricket oval. So, real quick, a couple of things happening. So first, I want to, we can't. Let's skip these series. I'm gonna talk about the World Cup under 19 first, because it needs to be talked about. So the under 19, unfortunately, can we get there? Under 19 World Cup. Here we go. The big match. Essentially, this wasn't technically a playoff match, but it really was because, as you know, it's the final four who play in the semifinal, and three teams had punched their ticket to that semifinal matchup. Afghanistan was in, Australia was in, England was in after New Zealand was unable to beat them the day before yesterday. Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago. Man, it might have been yesterday. Yesterday was a long day, man. We'll talk about it when Shep joins. I'm going to jump into what a crazy day I had yesterday. But, hey, let's talk about that fourth spot that was up for grabs. And was it up for grabs between the two perfect teams, the Team India and Team Pakistan? Yes, the big rivals were, for all intents and purposes, were playing a playoff game because it was win or go home, right? If whichever team had won would have gone on into that fourth and final spot in the semifinals. And man, I wish I could say that it was an exciting game. It really wasn't. It turned out, for fans of Team Pakistan, I'm sure they had high hopes after. Man, Cricket Info is having issues today. ESPN, if you're listening out there, go fix it, man. All right. So after what transpired in the Asia Under-19 Cup a few weeks back, where Pakistan just absolutely thrashed Team India. Like it was crazy. I want to say they ended up winning by almost 200 runs. It was 180, if I remember correctly. It's been a few weeks. You thought that this would be competitive. It really didn't. It turned out to not really be competitive. India put up 252 runs, which is not great at all. Right, 250 is pretty gettable, and nobody really stood out. When that's your total, 252, right? Nobody is going to stand out. Vaibhav Suryavanshi, the youngster, what is he now? 15 on paper, 16, something like that. Still doing great things, but in limited batches. That stayed true. He scored about 30 off of 22 with 5 fours and a 6. But he was gone. And nobody, Vedant Trivedi, 68 off of 98 deliveries. But yeah, it was just a ho-hum, 252. And fans of Pakistan, Team Pakistan, had some hopes. And things started off fairly well. The top of the order, facing a target of 253, was thinking, hey, we got this. And then the bottom fell out because the opener, Hamza Zahoor, ended up scoring 42 off of 49 before he was bowled out. The other opener, Samir Minhas, that's the thing, right? Samir Minhas, who was the star in that previous drubbing at the Asia Under-19 Cup. He fell for 9 after 11 deliveries with 2 fours and no 6s, and that hurt. Usman Khan, 66 off of 92. Farhan Yusuf, the captain, 38 off 39. And then the bottom just fell out. The middle order just absolutely failed. Ahmed Hussain, 2 for 6. Ali Hassan Baloch, 3 for 20. Huzaifa Hassan 14 off of 30. And just nothing doing. In the end, in the 47th over, Pakistan got all out at 194, and India wins pretty easily by 58 runs and moves on to the finals. And now that to the semifinals, sorry. And that is now set. Australia against England on Tuesday, and Afghanistan and India under 19 playing the other semifinal on Wednesday. Friday will be the two winners playing for the championship there. All right. Some good news. Let's talk about some good news for Team Pakistan. The big series against the hated, Australia. Pakistan, a T20I series against the powerhouse Australia, whitewashes them on the strength of not just their bowling. I mean, the bowling really shined in this series. Don't get me wrong, but not just on the strength of the bowling. The batting seemed to get stronger with each match. So it tells us it's not the talent, it's confidence. It's not physical, it's mental. Right? So Pakistan, in that first T20I, batted first, put up 168 at a loss of 8 against Australia. Not a big, just not enough against a team like Australia, right? Just not going to be enough. Especially Sahibzada Farhan falling on the first delivery he faced, on the first ball of this, first delivery of the match. Golden Duck, he's gone. Cotton bowled by Bartlett. But Saim Ayub, who was the other opener, and then captain himself, came in at one down when that wicket fell on the first delivery and stabilized things. Saim Ayub, 40 for 22. Salman Agha, 39 for 27. Babar Azam, 24 for 20. Fakhar Zaman, 10 for 16. Nothing great, but stable. They ended up putting 168. Again, it's not great. Not against a side like Australia, but also Australia doesn't generally face a bowling side like Pakistan. And the Pakistani bowlers came to play, man. Shaheen Shah Afridi only bowled 3 overs, but didn't get a wicket. The wickets went to Saim Ayub with 2, Abrar Ahmed with 2. All in all, they bowled out the 20 overs. Australia did lose 8 wickets, but more importantly, all they could do was score 146 runs. And Pakistan wins this fairly easily by 22 runs. And what did I say about confidence? That confidence built. The second match, which took place yesterday, Pakistan batted first. Yeah, Pakistan batted first in all 3 of them. Pakistan batted first, putting up 198 at a loss of 5. So won the first match by 22. In this one, they score more, put up 198, scored 30 more runs. Salman Agha, the captain, at one down again in this one, 76 off of 50, a 40. Strike rate of 190. Usman Khan, 53 off of 36. Shadab Khan, 28 off of 20, not out cameo toward the end. 1-4, 2 sixes, strike rate of 140. Carrying Pakistan to 198. And then the bowling, holding Australia in 16 overs to just 108. Yes, 108. Pakistan winning the second match by 90 runs. All right. And with that, I'm going to come back and finish the third game, but I wanted to welcome to the airwaves of Radio Azad. After a while, man, last week was bad. Welcome, Shep, to the airwaves of Radio Azad. Always a pleasure to have you here. What's happening?
Good morning. I'm just waiting for the day when it gets above freezing again.
A buddy of mine, another buddy of mine, lives in Chicago, and yeah, he was sending me uh, these screenshots of the days, and it's insane that in the day your highs might be 26. Um, some of my coworkers were in the. I was supposed to go, but then got
26,
frozen in.
man, that's been warm.
That's warm.
We've had a lot of days where the highs are in single digits.
Oh my
That
goodness.
Friday to a week and a half ago, whatever it was,
Uh-huh.
the wind chills were negative 40, negative 45.
Well, I was about to say I don't even want to ask you about the wind chill, but yeah, I mean that lakefront effect is real, man. And when the regular temperatures drop that far, the wind chill is going to be the real killer. So yeah, I hope you guys are staying warm or as warm as you are able, and
Yeah, well,
hopefully
we have the infrastructure for it, so it's not like Dallas when it snows or ices.
we did not, man. So look, I got a couple of bags of salt, just in case, because we do have a north-facing home. So our driveway was a sheet of ice. I say was, it still is. I, we didn't go anywhere Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we got out, and luckily the highways, the getting out of the neighborhood was fun. I don't want to say challenging. It was fun because I like slipping and sliding in on those icy roads when nobody else is out there. But Wednesday we got out. My mother-in-law was in town, and she was flying out. So getting to the airport was fun. Getting out of the neighborhood, it was terrible. It was just ice sheets. Then the I don't want to mention where I live, I guess, but so city of Plano roads were a little better, but still plenty of ice there. And then we get on the freeways, and they'd scrape them and clean them, and it was good. But it took a little doing. I was watching some of the videos from Monday and Tuesday, or really Sunday and Monday, where the freeways were just frozen and 18 wheelers were sliding everywhere. And yeah, we do not, as you said, we do not have the infrastructure for
It just
this
doesn't
type
happen
of
that
stuff.
often there.
Well, I mean, at this point, it was 21 we had the freeze, 22 we had the freeze. The last couple of years were okay, but here we go. We had the freeze again, so maybe we're gonna have to start investing in that infrastructure more or the equipment more as the weather gets more and more extreme. But hey, we are not a weather channel. We are not the weather spotlight. We are the sports spotlight. So welcome back. Let me finish up this third match of the Pakistan Australia series. So I was talking about, and this applies across the sports world, right? I think you and I have talked about going all the way back to, I shudder to think how many years ago. But confidence matters so much, man, so much in the world of sports, and that was evident in this series between Pakistan and Australia. So 168 to 146, winning by 22, gave them the confidence. The second one, they put up more runs and held Australia to lesser runs, winning by 90. And that third one, just absolutely, just finished a few minutes ago. Pakistan just absolutely demolishes the monster, the behemoth, the Goliath, Australia, by 111 runs, put up 207 at a loss of 6, and then got Australia all out under 100 at 96 before the end of the 17th over. I mean, that was Australia just tossing in the towel. I mean, they were done. But kudos to Pakistan for whitewashing the monster Australia. 3-0, big series victory. They're going into the World Cup that's going to start in 5 days. So that's going to be awesome. All right, with that, the spotlight's time to shine on the world of cricket is over. Let's go here.
skills expert, Matt Austin. Is there firm control?
Is there firm control? You know, that disease is not just hurting the NFL. It's permeating all through football into the college world. But hey, what are you going to do? All right, so the championship game. Did anything surprise you there? The way that played out?
So, not terribly so. I thought Indiana was going to win, but I also think I told you that I felt like Miami would have a shot, and they ended up having a shot at the end. But the difference was Cignetti's attention to detail, the special teams pump block, the calling of the quarterback draw on 4th and 5. Those are all things that were scouting related, and that was the margin of victory for the championship for his team. I mean, we talked about beforehand. Miami's got more future NFL players in that team.
It does.
And they almost came back and won, but they couldn't make the crucial attention to detail stops when they really needed to. And that's
the talent rose up. But they ultimately they could not overcome the coaching discrepancy, the difference in the level of coaching, right? And I think this just highlights what we've talked about. Some of these coaches, at some of these programs, right, where they're going to be chock full of NFL dudes year in and year out. It really, really, I don't want to say upset, but it surprises me how little those who are supposed to be paying attention to this stuff actually call out the fact that the success for some of these coaches at some of these programs has more to do with just the embarrassment of riches that they have when it comes to talent.
I think that's the hardest thing to evaluate about a college coach is because you have these huge talent disparities, people often mistake that for X's and O's talent development acumen.
Yep.
The reality is you just got better dudes. Okay? And if you just have better dudes, you're going to win a lot more. It's not like the NFL where everybody's got good dudes. No, there's a drafting component, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you screw that up, you're going to get fired. Things aren't going to work out the way you want them to. But in the college ranks, the talent disparity is just a lot bigger. Okay? And some of that has to do with budget. Some of that has to do with history. You know, you get NIL stuff now. I mean, look how Texas Tech built their roster, you know. But coaching the X's and O's, I think it's going to really matter more because I think talent's going to be more dispersed because of the money aspect. And I look, there's still going to be some giants who can outspend everybody. And they're going to, the ones that win the most consistently are going to be the ones that can outspend people. But I just don't think, I pick on him all the time. I don't think Ryan Day is a great schematic advantage coach.
He's not. He's
shown
it, right? And his defenders are going to point to that championship last year. But that's exactly what I mean, right? Eventually, at times, talent will rise.
Yeah, I mean, you get enough bites of the apple, eventually you're going to win. And look, he had a much better team than Notre Dame. And Notre Dame made that a close game.
Yep.
You know, and Texas, I think, didn't have as much talent as Ohio State, and Texas made that a close game.
And that's with their own limitations at coach, right?
Yeah, I never can tell. Like Sarkisian, I never, I've told you I always think he's leaving points in the field, but I can't figure out why. That's the it's why I'm an outsider, not a coach or an analyst for one of the programs. But I don't know why he's having those issues. Because it looks like he's given his team some advantages schematically, but then they're just not performing at big moments in games and leaving things off the board. And there's I don't know if it's a culture issue or a talent development issue or like an attention to detail issue. I just don't know what it is.
Yep.
But that's not what Cignetti, man. No one can level that charge at him.
Absolutely. And look, I think a lot of the accolades that are going to come his way now. And I mean, it's stating the obvious, right? Obviously, he won the championship, so he's going to get the championship trophy. But I really think a lot of the credit that's going to come his way now would not have come had he not completed it and won the championship. Had somehow Miami been able to, well, not somehow, they were close. Had they come back and won, I think it would have been, he would have been lost. Where now he's got the hardware that he's always going to be able to show, and I think there's going to be more of a conversation about that, about him being that difference maker in this championship.
I mean, what he achieved at Indiana, I mean, regardless of the fact that they have more resources than they've had in the past, is still astonishing.
Yep. 2
years to turn around the most losing program in college, in major college football history.
Yep.
That's
and you know, sorry, go ahead, finish your thought.
Oh, no, I did.
Oh, so what I want to see, and I promise you, this is something that if we're still doing the Sports Spotlight 5 years from now, I want to revisit this, because I think the average fan maybe doesn't realize, and even the draft may not necessarily reflect this accurately because of the recency bias and how there are bad franchises with bad dudes making decisions, right? I think the draft isn't necessarily going to see how much of a talent discrepancy there was between Indiana and the Miamis and the Georgias and the Ohio States and all those.
You're talking about the staying power in the NFL Act.
Yes. What I want to see is 5 years from now, how many of these Indiana dudes actually make it in the NFL as compared to the other teams. I know there's going to be a huge discrepancy, which may not be reflective of what we see in the draft, just because of
That's
things.
A deeper analytical dive than
Yep.
that a lot of people have the time to do. But I think my instincts tell me you're right, and it'll be interesting to see in 5 years where that comes through. I mean, one of the things I just saw the other day was how many Mississippi State players Dan Mullen still has in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It tells you how much better those teams were than people thought they were.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean,
and he only had the one big year, really, but he had some more talent than people thought he did, especially in defense.
Absolutely. That defensive line, and the linebackers. So yeah. Well, the season's over, and congratulations again to Indiana. Just a marvelous accomplishment. Not just to your point, not just the fact that they did it, but the fact that they turned things around so quickly. Yes, was there infusion of talent? Yes, was there infusion of money, which led to that infusion of talent from Mark Cuban, most famously. But you just can't do that. You can't do that in a 2 year span, which is evident because nobody else had done that before at a program like this.
And I know it's a unique environment, but literally no one has ever done what he did.
Yep. All right.
I will say one more thing before we transition.
Mhm.
It's the off season now, but it's the on season for the NCAA compliance folks.
Oh yeah. So we're at break time, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what Dabo had to say about that.
Yep.
All right. You're listening to the Sports Spotlight right here on Radio Azad.
This is Radio Azad, where your voice matters. Streaming in Dallas, Fort Worth, and all around the world.